Okay, let's go ahead and get started here. Let's get disclaimers off. Okay, hopefully the mic levels are good here. All right, let's get ahead and get started. So first up, I've got Andreas, he's very consistent. This is his go-to. This is Bitcoin Satoshi's vision. He's been very consistent posting this. And it looks like he's got a good read on it. I think there's a couple of issues for you, Andreas, that here just, with strict Elliott that, well, let's see. Here, maybe oh, I see okay, I'm going to change this color here so I don't misread it. Okay, so we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into the 3. Okay, that's good. My mistake, right? You do have it just right. High volatility day. We'll see later. Okay, yeah, no doubt. Who is that? That's MRN 420. Never missed a 420. Yeah, no question, right? So it's essentially, it's a lot of, all it is so far is just market manipulation, waiting for the Fed, right? There's no mystery as to what's going to happen. I think we can all agree on that. It'll be the commentary, right? So as we look here, where's his retrace? Looks like it's right here. So we're right in the pocket. You see this is nicely done, right? It's always good to have the trade. Oh God, how did that get so? Have the trades make sense. How did I get that? I got that a little. So this nice big imbalance here, right? We know the algorithms. They're looking for imbalances, right? This is a liquidity, right? The sellers move so fast, right? It's a reasonable expectation that there are still orders in the book, right? You would think, oh God, that's long, but lo and behold, right? So we know, right? The market. The algorithms like to move from external to internal liquidity, right? That's something that we can certainly credit ICT for putting that into the public domain, right? In terms of watching how the algorithms, algorithms, I can get it out of my mouth, how they move, right? So, what did we just do here, right? After getting this would be internal liquidity, right? It's internal to that swing. What did we just do here? External liquidity. So this is a tell, right? For a good low, it's important that there be. It's not like you can't take a long if you don't see it, but to have a little bit more conviction in your long, you'd want to see a major liquidity sweep, which is exactly what we get here. And notice that we don't go down deeply; it's just enough to grab all of the stops, right? That's all liquidity is, right? It's fancy word for where the stops. We're grabbing all that liquidity down here, and then how do we know that that's muscle, right? And not, that's not Billy Bob crypto. That's muscle, because look at the displacement, right? Retail can't do that. Cannot do that. So now, again, just paying attention. So we grab external. Now, where can we find some internal? Well, this would have been one, right? Obviously, right? There's more up here, right? And I think it's always a good idea to kind of go back through and say, okay, why? Why does this make sense? Why could this have happened, right? Can I understand it technically in terms of how the markets like to move, in terms of what algorithms are likely to be doing? External, internal. We got wicks through it. Probably call this an order block up here as well. Oh, Jesus, come here. I'd probably call that an order block. Oh, let's call that sell zone, right? We tap into it. So you've got this. Well, okay. So backing up here, how do we know this is a good order block, right? Because it created displacement, right? So again, this is bearish order flow, right? It's the upswing before we head down, right? So this is accumulating, right? We're trying to accumulate shorts here. Down we go, right? Displacement all the way down. External liquidity. Internal liquidity. Now where are we headed? Right, we get this. How do you miss this? Right, you can't miss that. Let's call it a fair value gap here. Let's be consistent with our labeling. Okay, external, internal. Well, this would be still internal, although you could use that pivot. But so we're just moving from liquidity zone to liquidity zone. Now, how do we frame Elliott Wave around that, which is essentially market structure, as I like to say? It's the OG of market structure, right? We just organize the swing pivots and the structure we organize the market structure around the Elliott Wave rules and guidelines. Right? That's what makes this slightly different than just raw smart money concepts, market structure, right, or at least contemporary market structure as ICT has, made that such a dominant technical approach. So we can kind of track this here. Well, okay, now if we start to put our Elliott Wave hat on here, we can say, Andreas, he's locking me out of that one. I'm going to take that off of there just because I think it makes it more. Oh, wait, he didn't. Did you draw this? Oh, you drew it. I see what you did. Okay, all right, so we got a 3 here. So we're going down. So we're completing this as a diag. We got an ABC. I see what he's doing. Oh, you locked it again. All right, so that's your, I see. Okay, I got you. Okay, so he took the length of the 1, projected from the 2. Note where, it's just unbelievable, right? Where do we pull from, right? Note 65 to the tick, right? Hello, algo, right? Again, we just went through this, right? Likely an order block right there, right? How do we know? How do we know it's an order block? We get an upswing before we head down, and we get displacement, right? So what this is combination right here. It's just a good exercise to continually do this. So here, this would be a sell zone order block, right? So we got an order block here, and then I've got a fair value gap that immediately follows it, right? That's what you're looking for, right? So I know it's not just coincidental, random, market randomness. I know that's an order block because it created displacement, right? So it makes it okay, right? This is all making sense. Like, 1, 2, ABC 3, ABC 4, ABC 5. Okay, I can see it. Shit. Got here. That's his 100%. Okay, I got it. So now, right, understand, right, with the age of algorithms, there are no random pivots. There are none, right, of significance. And all major pivots, you're going to find a reason technically for them somehow, some way. Might be liquidity, might be something like a length of A projected from B, exactly 100%, which is what you're seeing right here. I'm going to just move it a little bit. Oh, pardon me. He's got a 100%. Pardon me. This is A from B is 618. What is this 100 here? What are you pulling there? I got to pull it. Oh, I see. Okay, that's the 1 to 2. All right, so we have. All right, it's a little sometimes tricky, right, when you don't draw them yourself. Okay, so we have the overlap here. We get a little confluence zone here of the 618. Of the larger swing, and then the 100 from the 1 to 2, right? So we get this confluence zone here. Now, what do we need to just sweeten that, to literally put the cherry on top? Liquidity sweep. We get all 3 of them. Kaboom. Right, funny how that works. Okay, so now we'll get in there. Now, we're on the daily here, so these are some bigger swings. Let me get to a 4-hour here, see if we can make sense of this, right? So this is a nice job, Andreas, right? Marking out all of the swing structure here. It takes me a minute, right? If you didn't pull them, and I don't know what's what here, but I got you now. Okay, so we've had an A, we got a B into the sweet spot right here. It's not always going to be to the tick, right? We're right in the pocket there where we know an algo is going to be active. All wick up here, enough to get in. There's likely another order block here. So A, B, what are we looking for? C. Okay, well, this is a bit of a unusual rip right here that we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 monster rip. You'd have to be flexible here with the labeling, right? Because you could certainly see how this we could end up, well, I don't know what happened here, but something dramatic happened here. For that kind of a run here from 29, that's, Andreas would probably know what's behind that, but buyers are what's behind that. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're getting a little bit. Let's go to a 1 here. See if we have a candidate here for another 4 in there. Yeah, and I'm sure Andreas sees the same thing, right? So this gets a little bit. Let me use this one. This gets a little bit outside of what you might anticipate, right? They're getting the relationship between swings, both in their distance as well as time, is getting a little abnormal. You'd rather have the 3 complete up here. Now, okay, right, the market doesn't always give us what we want, but this is, I'd be penciling things in here, right, for the possibility here that these are going to be disconnected. That whatever happened here completes, this is the correction of it. So could this be an ABC? Well, yeah, it could be. It could be, right? Of course course, it could be. Okay, right. So for me, right, if you didn't catch the early pump here, and Andreas has been all over this. So I don't know that if he would have added here, or he's just, because he's so long, he's just benefiting from the rip here in his account, right? So we come up to this coming back, because of the irregular shape here. If I were going to buy it here on the assumption here that we're going to go up and challenge 50 or golden zone, my size would be light on that, because of the distortion of the 4. Look at the relationship 4 to 2. I'm not saying, right, don't trade it. I'm not saying anything like that. I'm just saying if I came to this chart today and I'm looking at that, if I was going to nibble down here, which is not an unreasonable thought. You note here, we've got the length of A projected from the proposed B. We've got a 100 right in front of, right just beyond the golden zone, which is probably sitting right at 707. Now that I look at it. So you've got a little pocket down here. I might nibble there. I'd probably do it like this. I would pull this over to the side, and I would just look at this as just unmitigated order flow, right? So, okay, if we get down a little further here, this is, it's a bit, that's a bit loose here, calling this unmitigated order flow, because you don't really have anything dramatic here. There's no major order block. I mean, if you should go to the daily, you might be able to sweeten that up a little bit in terms of how it's going to look. Maybe you got a little toe here. I'd be cautious here, Andreas, in terms of adding. Let it come down here, because if we're going to do this, right? So here, this is the beauty of Elliott Wave, right? Again, it makes it my personal opinion, having looked at damn near everything. There's nothing like it, right? Because there are requirements for the market to complete this. Right, if this is going to complete as a somewhat irregularly shaped impulse, we're looking for a 5 here. Meaning, right, and it doesn't necessarily have to be. It doesn't have to be an impulse, but I gotta have 5 for this to realize its potential here. For this to be the 5th. Now it could be a diag, right? It could be wacky. It could be a diag. We could have something like that. Still a 5. Right, the 5 is not optional; it's mandatory, right, for this account to hold. Mandatory, no alternative. It's 5 swings. If it's not that, then this analysis is, this read of the market is incorrect. Right, maybe we're doing something like this. So you have very clear. So what would be the more conservative way to take this? If we come down here, we get into this structure here. Well, the 1-2. Has to happen, right? Because we got to have a 5, so there has to be a 1-2. So if it's me, I'm saying, okay, well, that's a little funkadelic right down there. But if I get a 1 that pops off out of here, right? Again, the 1, right? If it's a diag, right? You could get a zigzag here. You could get an ABC, right? Again, but that's a lot to assume, right? In the 1 wave, right? What do I want to see here? I want to see a 5. 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, right? And again, could be a diag, right? And it wouldn't be unusual, right, to end this as an ending diag in the 5th, because of the huge 3. But where's the safer trade? Safe as it can be, right here. Let the first 1 kick. Anything's possible, but it's not likely to do that just in a straight line. Not that it couldn't, it's just less likely. I'll take the 2. Whether it's a diag or not. Let the 1 shape. So, right, if that happens, well, you took a loss. Get used to it. It's going to happen a lot. Okay, right, so that's nicely done there, Andres. Right? This is, your work here is very good. Right? It's getting better and better every week. I know he's in the blue belt right now, so I'm confident it's going to continue to get better as he works through it. I don't think he's done with it yet. Okay, right. So there we have it. Right. So the other thing to note here, we're in a nice big algo box. So maybe, if there's volatility, I'm not expecting, a lot of volatility today. Just a boring day. There'll be volatility at the press conference. But I don't think 3 days from now we're going to see dramatic. You got to be careful of forecasting anything. 3 days from now, we're going to see, trend changes. Yeah, well, let's get through the press briefing before we make any prognostication here. I'm coming into the day, my accounts are completely hedged neutral, right? I'm not taking any directional risk, right, for what that's worth. But that's predominantly in traditionals. Okay, let me, how are we doing on time here? Everybody good here? Okay, yeah, it looks like it's kind of a light lineup here, and it looks like we got some light attendance, although I know people usually watch this after the fact, right, where they can just go to the asset. That's why we do the time codes, right? We try and get them out as fast as we can. That's typically how people watch it. That's how I would watch it. Okay, there's a few guys. There's my devils posting up. Okay, good job, guys. All right, so next up, by Crypto Janus. This has been very consistent. He's been all over this one. CRV. Yeah, so usually when I see people, oh shit, I lost him. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, I thought I had you ready to tee up here. Hang on. Oh, I see what you did. You gave me a new link here. Link created. Let me try this and see if it works. This is because I want to see their work. I don't want it to just be my work. I want to see their work. I want to see how they're progressing. Okay, so what have I got here? I'm getting your CRV here. So let's see if this is going to work. So if I copy it, and here's the tell, right? When I copy it, do I get an exact copy? Looks like it might have worked here. Crypto Janus, good job. Thanks to Depeche for helping these guys figure out. Jeez, I gotta hire Depeche one of these days. For figuring out how to do. Okay, that. Oh, fuck! I hate when it does that. I get something on the left side. Okay, holy shit! All right, hang on a second. Fuck! Why is it doing that? I don't want that. There we go. Okay, give me a second here. Hang on one sec. Sorry, back. It just gets hot in my office here. Oh, let me get some colors here that my brain can relate to. Okay. CRV it keeps threatening to rally here. Okay, this is tricky. Oh shit, we got a lot on here. Okay, so first, good job. Thanks again, Depeche. Okay, let's see how we're doing. Okay, we've got a lot of fib projections up here. Important to have, just for the sake of clarity here, because we can put them back on. Let me just get into the base of what you're doing here. Okay, so this is your swing high to low. We're coming 886. Okay, right. So with that established, I'm going to take that off again. Not that it's not significant. I'm just trying to get into this part of your work. Okay, so we have a candidate here for a 1-2. That's interesting. So he's typing those in rather than using the tool, rather than using the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure, I'd label it that way. Because Crypto Janus, I assume, right? You see, you'd be leading with the 3 into this 2. That may be why he's doing that. So I'm going to take those off because I think those are not. Whoops, what did I just take off here? This is what I'm going to take off, right? So they're not tied to that. I think you could probably just use this as your starting point, right? This is all just coming into a bottom here. We don't sweep this low, which is, as I was just talking about, ideally, that's what you want to see at a low, right? Here's a big, you think there's any liquidity down here? You think there might be some here? Well, you can make the case that, okay, well, you got some of this. Maybe you got some of this, didn't get any more. Okay, well, it's okay. What's your conclusion here? If they're not getting this, right, the strength of the market is pretty strong. So what do you have here? You have just a big consolidation box. What are we doing? What's the date here? February through March. So we just stay in this consolidation here. What? This is not bad news, right? Whenever you see this, right, pay attention. because we know we don't have to wonder ever. From consolidation, contraction comes expansion. Always, 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 right? There's never say never. Extremely rare that doesn't happen. Right? It's nothing to do with the markets, right? That's you take it to the universe, right? Big bang, contraction, expansion. So right, that's a constant in the markets, right? So you can anticipate it as much as you can anticipate anything in the markets, right? From that consolidation, right? It's like a tight coil, boom, it's going to blow. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I can live with that. All right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Okay. Well, let's get always my suggestion, right? Again, I'm doing this a long time, right? It'll help you alternate colors and degrees, right? So that's actually too high, right? Because you'll run out of shit up here, and then the color combos start to get, oh fuck, what is that attached to? Right? You save yourself. Just a friendly suggestion, right? Not a requirement, but just something I think that will help you over time. Also, right? Again, it's personal preference, right? But oh fuck, where are they, right? Where's my golden zone here, right? I find the different fib colors helpful. Okay, so what do we see right here, right? Be interesting to see if there's a chart that comes up today that doesn't have this in it, right? So far, we're 2 for 2. Okay, so up for a 5, ABC, golden zone. What's also just implied there, right? You don't even, right, without even doing it. What do we have here? That is a golden corner pocket. That is my signature trade. 80% probability. Boom, there it is. I say this every live stream just to drill it into your heads. Median lines are in every technical package available ever that's ever been created, yet they are the least used technical tool. But they have the highest winning percentage of any technical tool anywhere in here. Least used, highest win rate. Think that might have something to do with the fact that 90% of traders lose money? Oh, it's probably higher than that, 95%. Maybe you want to use that. Maybe you want to be in the 5%. Just a suggestion. Okay, well, here he's making a reasonable deduction. Okay, 1, 2, probably not the 3. I'm going to change the colors again. 1, 2. So this has been burned, right? That 80% is only good for one shot, right? It's one-time use, right? So 80% is burned, right? So once that's burned, and we go to the channels, right? Because we're going to use that to guide us in the Elliott progression. Should we get a progression? Okay, well, now we got to take this up a degree because let's go up to subminuet, right? Because these are at micro. 1, 2. Good. Did the algo get paid? Literally clears it by a couple of ticks. So, yep, algo got paid. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now, do we know that's in? Well, we don't. Because that's kind of shallow for 2. Again, the market's under no obligation ever to do anything, right? It's going to do what it's going to do. But where do they usually go? Oh, fuck. Hang on a second. Oh, I can't take that. It's my watch ringing. I do turn my phone off for these. Okay, 3, 4, 5, right? Now, do I know it's going here? No. Oh, of course not, right? But where do they usually go? If this is a 1 and a 2, well, that's 1, 6, 1, 8. 1, 2, 1, 2. Does that make sense? Well, if I've got a 1, 2 and I'm going to get a 3, I'm going to have a 1, 2. So far, right? Okay, you might have to pull this down a little bit, and this might come down here, right? You might be on, running parallel to the other set of channels from the first one too. Although that's all right. I'm going to change that a little bit. Oh, he locked me out. These guys are learning to lock me out. Okay, all right. So I can't change it. All right. So let's get these in alignment now. Okay, let's start them from scratch. Right. So here's the first one. Okay, which seems to be, containing the whole thing, right? So I'm not sure you need another set, right? Because we can look right here and say, okay, if we're coming down here, would that make sense? Well, you got a big, what am I on? I'm on Binance, right? So you can imagine the volume profile. Well, let's do this. All right, it's going to be pretty fat right here. Oh, that's interesting. We get a little low volume node. My microphone right here. Right, see that low volume node, right? The market likes to stay ledge to ledge, right? If it breaks from one ledge, likely going to the next, right? So you got a little air pocket here. That might make a lot of sense for that too, if I can get it up there. So this, God, is that me or him? No, that must be him because it's locked. All right, we come into this pocket. I'm interested. Pretty clear exit, right? I mean, you could use, I often, the reason I put the 707 on there is because that's what I'll use for my stops. A couple of ticks on the other side of it. Because if it's going deeper than that, right? So that's why I use that. If it's going, it could, because certainly it could go 787, right? That's, or 887, right? That's not uncommon. The deeper they go, though, right? We've got to acknowledge this, right? Just statistically, the deeper that they go, right? The less likely you are to get your 1618, right? Which is where the most wave threes go. 1618, the length of the one. So that if they're going deeper, well, okay, I'm less enthusiastic. Even, I mean, it can go a tick to it and still be a 2. But the odds now of that going all the way up here, right, get dramatically reduced, right? So now you're thinking, oh God, if the 2's going that low, oh, maybe I'm going to have a diag here, right? We're moving away from the norms, right? And we're getting into, okay, well, it's still a 2, right? Until it overlaps that 1, or that the start of the 1, it's still a 2. Until it's not, right? So, but this is what you want. You wouldn't want to take the drawdown all the way. Well, I'm going to take it all the way to the tick. Why? Why? It's kind of, well, I won't say dumb, although that's the obvious. It's just showing a lack of understanding in the markets, right? And why you always want to take the small loser first, because you can survive this. Oh, that hurts. Fuck. What are you going to do next? Here's what most people will do next. Oh, I fucked that up. All right, well, I'm going to have to go bigger on the next one to make that back. Oh, the hole just got deeper, and it's going to go deeper and deeper, right? You start doing that, right? Now, well, essentially, you're revenge trading. Like, motherfuckers, I know this thing's going higher. Okay, I'm gonna put on 3 times the size with leverage because I know that's going higher. Whoa, catch yourself there. You know when you're doing it, you motherfucker, buy, click. We've all been, I can only speak with that kind of conviction about it because I've done it too many times. I know it, right? You make enough mistakes over enough time, right? And they start to become, you know what's happening, right? Oh, the blood starts to, motherfucker, right? You got to stay away from the buy or sell button when that's happening. It's just, you have to, right? Because you can always re-enter, right? You can't recover from something that's stupid. It's going to just take, well, I shouldn't say that, inexperience, right? You just take the jab. Don't take the knockout. Take the jab. You'll survive the jab. Okay. Is there a trade here? Well, I would say no. Not right now. Well, why would you? What is your edge here? You're trading right inside. You're at the low edge of the distribution here, right? That would be potentially, a buy to the upper edge, right? Where do I have advantage, right? Where I can lean into. Oh shit. Okay. Well, then it looks like a good 2. Where, if you buy it here, what are you saying? Okay. Well, we're only going to do a 38, right? Certainly, it's not an unreasonable thought, but why are you leaning into that? Where do the wave 2s usually go? Well, I didn't want to miss it. Okay, well then layer it in. Take a third, and a third, right? 38, 50, golden zone. Okay, average it down. You'll end up approximately long at the 50. If you just can't, oh my God, I know it's going to go. Buy a little bit now, right? So at least you got a third of it. If it does go, if you're right, for whatever reason, I don't know why that would go, but if it does, okay, well, I got a piece of it. And remember, this is, again, back to why we teach Elliott Wave. If this is going to be a 3, the impulse here is not optional. It's mandatory if this is going to realize this, right? Or, heavy emphasis, if we're going to get a 3 here, well, there has to be a 1, 2. So if you didn't get a full load here, oh, fuck, it's going, right? I got a 5 here. Well, take the next 2, right? Because that's the money wave right there. That's why you want to be in for the 3. Right? Look here, right? Same thing, right here, right? That's the money. That's again our purple belt, right? If you want to pass a purple belt, we restrict you to trading only 3s and Cs, because it's such a discipline to build, right? Most people, they really struggle with it. Oh shit, I wanted the 1. Okay, you want the 1? We'll take the 3 of the 1. Well, I knew that thing was going to sell off. Okay, take the C. We're not limiting you. You just think that that's limiting. All we're doing is a massive favor to you, right? To build that kind of discipline, right? That's what survives. Discipline, not emotion. All right. I split the screen. There's also CRV Bitcoin. All right, let's take a look at that. CRV Bitcoin. Oh, fuck me. Hey, I was on CRV Bitcoin. Okay, so son of a bitch. Okay, holy shit. So I didn't get your CRV to the dollar. Holy shit. Did all that on CRV to Bitcoin. Okay, well, this is perfectly valid. Okay, what have I got over here? Oh, well, let's see. Why can't I get your... So we got most of it right. You use this layout. CRV USDT should be in the low left corner. Okay, that's not what I got. Well, let's see if I can bring it up. I got your CRV USD T. What exchange are you on? Oh, fuck. Let's go to crypto here, what's neutral. Do I have it? Oh, let's use fuck me. What are you using here? Hang on. Let me try and get your work here. So you're using Binance. Okay, so let me go up here. One sec, guys. Here, I'll get it. CRV USDT. He's using Binance. Okay, so do I get your work? Oh, I do. Okay, cool. All right, let's start that. Let's do that all over again. SOS. Oh fuck. Okay, I gotta untangle this. Right now, you gotta appreciate when you first see this. That's a little tricky for me to get a handle on what's going on there. Okay, so this, I do not like that. Move all scales onto the right. Okay. All right, let's see how it looks here, if it's different. Holy shit. Okay, right, so here, this, good, right? So we're doing a shoulder? Head and shoulders? Looks like it. Is that what you're doing here, head and shoulders? Oh, no, I see you're doing Wyckoff. Okay, I got it. Okay, I see it. Okay, cool. All right, we don't get a lot of Wyckoff, right? It dovetails in beautifully, but that's okay. So here's selling climax, automatic rally, short term. Here we have I guess this would be your spring right here. Jump the creek. Okay, right, so we got it. Show of strength. I got it. SOS. All right, I'm not used to seeing the Wyckoff. Show of strength. Okay, I'm going to get some of this out of here. Okay, there's a few little issues here. Fuck me. Hang on. Unlock here a little bit. All right, so I can see what you're doing here. God damn, this is complicated. Last point of support, sign of strength. Okay, well, the Elliott gets a little wonky here because it looks like what you're drawing here, CryptoJanice. I got an impulse. I got it. You're going triangle 2. Okay, all right. So hard rule in Elliott, no triangles in the wave 2. All right, so we got to DQ that. So we can't call it a triangle. It could still be the 2. Let me do this. Hang on a second. It's easier on my old brain. Okay, now I can see it a little better. Okay, so we're going to go with a 1 here. That's a clean 5. Oh, I'd probably do it that way. ABC. 1, ABC. Beautiful. Now we got a rip-roaring impulse here, right? So that's a good-looking, let's see. Okay, I'm going to relabel here because I get a little benefit of hindsight right here. So rather than a 2, it looks to me like we can here if I draw it. Right, so I know sometimes it's easier than my mouse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so I can go 1, 2, 3, and then I can use that triangle here for the 4. Right, because I can have a triangle in the 4. That's where you look for it most. Right, a 4 or a B. All right, so the fact that I can get a triangle here makes me think, okay, wait a second. Let's consider relabeling this. So hang on a second. I'll get there. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's put that up there for a second. Let's see where we can go with that. I got to put that in a brighter color so I can see it. Okay. I love the Wyckoff here. It's just it'll most of our people, some of them I'm sure have studied it. Okay, let's see here now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a. Do you see? Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, so you got a candidate for the 4. God, this does get bumpy. Okay, let's no, Jesus. Let's go with that. Although I think you'd have to put the 5 here, which would mean you wouldn't keep going here. Right? If indeed we're completing here. Oh, it's got a little tricky here. Okay, we're on the 1 hour. If that's the 4, we're going to use your triangle. Well, it looks like you might have. Oh, Jesus, we ran out of legs here. Let's see. Oops, hang on a second. 1, 2, 3. This would have to be part of a larger correction. Let's push this all up here for a sec. I'm going to move some of the Wyckoff here because many here won't follow it. Good for you for studying that though. It can only add value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so that's a good 3. That's a good 4. But we're getting a little funky here. Well, that's a hard call to make here. Right, so certainly possible. I would take this off. Right, it's too soon to make that commitment there. And let's take all this off. Jesus, this is a lot of lines. Okay. Let's see if we can just clean this all up. Impulse. I don't quite have enough to finish it here. I would leave all of this off, right? This is unknown. Well, let's check a few things. Right, when in doubt, right, measure. How do we look here on the 3? I mean, that's an extreme for 3. That's about as far as they go. Are we in log here? We are in log. Not much difference. Well, it's essentially no difference. So do we need to be in log? 35, that's twice the range. We don't. Okay. Oh, so much going on in here. No. Well, you got a 3 here, which is kind of monkey in the wrench. Well, you can't put the 5 here, right? Because we keep going, unless you were going to do some sort of expanded B. I think you got to hurry up and wait here. Let's see, right? Are we breaking this? Oh, well, this here, right, would be significant. It's too unclear to me. If you use the triangle, it has to be the 4. This is a good 3, but I got 1, 2, 1, 2. That can't finish. Right? We can't finish with that 3. I suppose the only thing you could consider here is that if we are done here, you got an A. Oh, Jesus, can you even get that? This would have to be an expanded B, and we're coming down for the C, so you'd be looking for some sort of a flat like this, 1, 2, 3, 4 diag, right? Because we overlap. We're overlapping here. So that's not great looking either. I think that's hurry up and wait, right? Because this is a floater. I'm not ready to put that anywhere. If I had to, I'd put it here. A, B. But I'd be looking for that to come deeper. You can kind of finish it here. Can we do this? Maybe this is a 4 within the internal. I don't think so, because this is, there's, oh, Jesus, that's pretty tight. Let's do this here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? There's a lot of triangles here. There's the 2. Now, so you got to start thinking alternates, right? If it doesn't quite finish properly, what are your choices here? Well, stay away. Wait for more data. It's this light. I mean, so if you go 3, 4, 5, which is what you originally had, then we've got A, B, C, D, E. The triangle doesn't play, so it seems like this is the safer bet to play it this way. But then you get into a big what? Yeah, I would hold on that, right? If you're long, I wouldn't be too worried, right? We got higher high, higher low, higher high, so far higher low, right? So the market structure is consistent with staying bullish, right? We don't have the overlap yet. We could finish with, I suppose, we could have a funky diag. Just out of curiosity, in a diag, right? You often want to look for a 50 between the pivot of the 4 and the, if indeed, what would be the proposed 3? If I'm right on that. Interesting. How do we do here? That's all wick, so likely algo stayed with it. Wicks again. I'm assuming you guys see this. Oh, that's not the cleanest. Could we end with that? That seemed a little bit of a wishful thinking. Although that's interesting. Wick, wick, wick. Looks like that could be out. Nope, back one. Wicks again. Did he get paid? Yep. See it? Right. This is right. Understand how the algo works, right? Well, here's a nice little sequence so you can follow it, right? So break, right? So broken, right? We get a new low. What's it going to use? Right, it's going to use the most recent pivot, right? So here, this is the dominant high to the dominant low, right? Oh, pardon me. This at that moment in time, that was it. This goes down here, and then we come back. So you're going to use this because that's now, right? That's now the swing range, right? So it's going to use that. This then becomes the dominant, right? So now we've got high to high, right? This is the if I draw it. It's going to go from here to here, the lowest low, as we come back, right? We're in the pocket, got a little order block there. Where's the target? And there is some trial and error, right? You got to, what did it do? What did it use? Where was it successful? Where did it fail? If it got, well, here, right? Obviously, it got stopped out. Okay, so what's the algo going to do? It's going to go back to the next pivot. That gets stopped out. Next one, right? Until you break them all. Right? That's just what it does. Okay, all right, so coming out of this, I'm on hold here. Maybe you got a 5 there, maybe. But, you know, that's not what you're really looking for, right? You're looking for an ABC, right? To hold the diag. Poof. So you'd be hoping for a WXY here, right? Anytime I'm hoping for something, I'm on the sidelines. I don't think you have any edge there, really. for as it sits right now. Let's go back to something like a 2 hour here. What's your edge here? Market structure might be the only thing you could lean into. Higher high, higher low, higher high, triangle, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Right, as long as that continues, okay, we got a good chance that we're heading into that for some sort of a fifth. But what would we be completing up here? This would be that third. 1, 2, 3, 4, ending diag. You might nibble there. I wouldn't go heavy, right? Just a little. Okay, you're not trying to hit it, a home run. You're trying to get a little, a nice steady single there. Up here, where you're going to hit another golden zone. You get another golden here, right, from this pivot. Right, so understand, how much room you have to run before you're going to hit resistance. Just because it's there doesn't mean it can't break, right? Right? For everyone that succeeds, one breaks. So, but there's going to be resistance there. That we don't have to wonder about that. You got plenty of liquidity points over here as well. Okay, let me keep moving. Good stuff, Crypto Janice. Right, so we got a twofer there with the Bitcoin. Actually, I like the Bitcoin trade better personally. What's the only reason you would trade an alt against Bitcoin? To get more Bitcoin. Okay, let's go to Never Give Back. Let's see. Oh yeah, I think I. Well, let me show you his chart because he's nailed this. Copy link. Let's look at his. Wait a sec. No, that's his CRV. Hang on a second. Copy link. Oh, come on. This may not work. There we go. Okay. Gevo. Never in my life have I ever looked at Gevo. Right? Does that matter? Of course not. Does the market move in 5s and 3s? 5 up. Zig. Zag. 5. 3. 5. Correcting. I know. Right? No. You got to use all the cool stuff. That Elliott Wave stuff. That's your grandfather's TA. That shit doesn't work anymore. Or does it? Gevo, I had it up here. Okay, so never give back. When you have a sec, take a look at how Depeche, he shows you, right? He actually tagged you. Shows you how to post a chart so I can get to it. So I can use your work, not mine. But it's hard to miss. This is, I mean, if you can't, I mean, you're turning your brain off, right? If you don't see the impulse in the zigzag, you're just deliberately going out of your way to not see Elliott Wave. Right? Many do, actually. If you can believe that, many do, right? They're so resistant to it, right? Oh, fuck that shit. Hard to miss it. I mean, how are you going to miss that? You can't, right? You'd have to be an Elliott Wave denier to do that, right? Even if you did it as a flag, or excuse me, as a flat. Because you couldn't start there, right? So you would just have to be in Elliott Wave denial, right? There's a lot of that. There is, amazingly. A, B, C, right? Can we finish that? We begin and we end in 5s. Do we end in a 5 here? I mean, do I have to even say it? Show it? Is there any question about that? No, that certainly doesn't mean that this is absolutely guaranteed to be the low. But if you were to take a trade, right? I mean, do we not have a pretty good looking setup here? Right? So that's all wick through the golden, right? So we know we still have the monster algo still there. Where's that algo's target? Right? It just stays long until it gets there or gets stopped out down here with a close below the 65. You can see here, he's taking the length of the day projected from the B, right? We got 100% here. Nice, right? Again, it takes seconds to do it, right? But by the time you're done, you've got a nice technical setup, right? We got a nice channel here. Oh, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Oh, okay. How do I confirm this? Well, we can call it. No, we can call it a lot of things. Let's call it a market structure shift, right? Because that pattern. All of a sudden. Right, this was a significant pivot. Why is it significant? Because it produced a break of structure, right? It's just, Market structure 101. That's a break of structure down, right? So this is a significant pivot, right? So we can come up here and we know there's, well, that looks like that's all, we're one time framing here all the way down, right? No highs are taken out, right? So this would be significant. Some can, you know, quibble. Oh, it's a chalk. No, it's a boss. No, it's an MSS. It's a change, right? All right, that's the daily. Well, let's try the hourly. Good looking setup here. I might take some of this myself. Okay. Possibly we got a 5 there, right? We know, we're looking for a 5, right? Because we know the market begins and ends in 5s. There's a little chop monster there to get us up there. I wouldn't call that the cleanest start. Oh shit, do we have to go down to a 15 to dig it out? I rarely will swing trade below this. Day trade, yes, but swing trade, no, right? It gets too squirrely down here. Okay, so we've got a candidate here. What do you think is there? I promise you I've not looked at it. Oh, come on, my machine's lagging a little bit. Oh, come on, don't fuck with me, come on. There we go. Come on. Oh, come on, come on. I've got a lot open. I might have to close some shit. Come on. God damn it. I might have to close some shit. I got a lot open. Hang on, guys. God damn it. This makes me mad. Bear with me here. This is nothing I can do about it. I gotta wait or it'll crash the whole thing. I could crash here. If I do, the live stream's over. Oh, come on. I probably have 50 tabs open. God damn it. Come on. Not when I'm live. Please don't do this right now. Okay, right. Do we get it? We back? Nope. God damn it. I may be out of luck here. I've got so much up here. Let me, if I close some of this. You guys can't see what I'm doing. I'm trying to close. Trying to close the many tabs I have here. See if that helps. Hang with me just a second. Come on, motherfucker. Oh, there we go. Okay. All right, we're back, right? So I guess that did help. Okay, let's get down here. Are we back? Are we good? All right, I guess I just had too much open, right? It's too much. I got it right at 55 tabs open. Okay, we're it's not going to be golden, right? 707, right? You wouldn't be stopped out. That's a little bit bumpy coming down. Just we are on a 15-minute. Tradable, I might wait to let today's price action settle. Absolutely no idea what this company is or about. It makes no difference to me. I don't care. What do I care about? When's earnings? Right? Technically, it makes no difference to me what they do. None. When's earnings? That matters to me. Because I don't want to put something on, right? You know, within a week of that. If I was, I'd be selling some of the premium. But so, what do we have here? Not a great one, because you're going to hit it so fast, right? You want a bigger swing for those, right? Because you get more juice out of it. Not that that's still 80%. A candidate, right? I would just leave this candidate. Right? Well, now, just as we were talking about before, I'm a little leery of my machine. Just as we're talking about before, if this is going to play, and heavy emphasis on this next leg that's not optional. That's going to be an impulse, or this count isn't going to fall apart. If this is going, that's going as a 5, period. You don't have to wonder about it. Do we have any channeling here? Well, we could use this to get started. What you're hoping for is you're going to end up doing that, right? But you start out right here with the 1 and the 2. Okay, can we break this, or are we breaking lower? Right now, I've got a swing, I got a retrace, right? I got a higher low. Enough to trade? Yeah, sure. Of course. Where's your better risk reward? Right, you want to be a buyer or a seller here? Are you in premium? Are you in discount? We are on log scale. Do we need to be on log scale? I don't think we do. Well, maybe we do. 340. Yeah, I guess that's 3 times the range. Guess we do. You could do that right there. Take the little jab if it comes down. Just take it. Reload. Right? It won't kill you. Doing something like this, that's self-inflicted stupid that you're doing that to yourself. Right? Well, the only reason you're doing that is because you're too much of a pussy to take a stop. You need to build the muscle of taking a stop, right? You need to take stops so that you don't get emotionally connected to them. If you do this, you're just a complete fucking pussy. And all you're doing is making sure you're going to lose the most amount of money. Because you're such a pussy, you won't take a stop. Oh, my little ego, I can't handle being wrong. Oh, I was wrong. You better fucking get used to taking stops, right, if you want to survive in the market. Oh. A lot of F-bombs on that one, but it's the truth. I'm sorry to tell you that's the truth, right? I'm not here to coddle you. Okay. Well, what do we got here? Cian Salazar. Oh, one of my faves. Let's see what he's up to. Palantir. I think they had quite a miss the other day. Let's see what Palantir. I would almost put us. Well, here's a good example. I was looking at an option spread on this. Didn't do it because the earnings volatility, right, is real. Let's see. Cian Salazar knows how to post the chart. Oh, nice. That's why I didn't take it, right? Oh, if you're in that, good for you. Okay, let's see. All right, let's see what he's got here. So question mark, 1, 2, 3. Whoa, quite the rip in the 5th, right? So that's a good, you know, what else are you going to call this, right? 1, 2, whoa. Whoa. Right, you're kind of stuck with that. Right, he's laid this out, right? So you hear that's going to be, well, I'm not sure what he's using here, but just since I can do this and, oh fuck me, where is it? Oh, let's see. I gotta have to just do it this way. 2618, right? So if we're going 12618, you're putting the 3 there. If anything, right, this is a little bit, you almost want to do this, right? So you can allow for but then you're going to have this crazy, you're going to have a very shallow too, right? We almost have to be in log. Well, not almost, we have to be in log. You kind of want to do that, right? So you get a nice self-contained impulse here. But it would leave you with such a bizarre too. That's tricky. Let's just see, right? Because we could see what, you know, if it's massive extension, damn it. Of course, I get nothing but calls on Wednesdays. Everybody in my universe knows not to call me on Wednesday. When do they call? Wednesday. Okay, so 1, 2, could that be 3, 4, 5? Well, let's look. Let's go to the daily here and get a bigger picture on that. This is interesting, but I'm gonna hide it. I think since we're in log scale, I'd use the adaptive. What do you got down here? Too big, right? So when it's too big like that and you have that massive run, you just double it. We get the same relationship. See, 1, 2, 3, right? That's what makes this tricky, right? That's the highest pivot. All right, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is all a big fifth. Well, you kind of want to make that the third, don't you? I'm not sure we're going to be able to. All right, that would be such a shallow too, but it makes me just wonder in out of log scale. Because you didn't need log scale here, right? From, well, maybe you did. That's twice the range. A little closer here to the, let's get that tightened up a little bit. A little closer here to a 50. God, it looks like you get another 1 here. So let's see if we can put this together. 1. Can we do this here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like you'd have to do the 2 here, because then I get another 1, 2. 4, 5. Let's get this out of here. So hang on a second. See if I can put this together on the fly here and not bore you guys to death. Okay, right. So there's candidate, right? It's just that. It's just a candidate. Does have to be a flat into that too. Right, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So then it looks like I can get another 1 there. So let's just see if this will fly. Right now, I can't see, right? So I'm putting this together without seeing, enough about what's coming. Oh shit! Got to change that. Let's put this in sub. Let's change the color. What have I not used? Let's go to green. That's just a wick. You might have to do that as well. 1, 2, 3. All right, hang on. I got too many, so I'm going to change this. It's going to go down micro. Okay, let's try again. Sometimes this can be a little easier to do in log. Well, this starts to play better. This is a little suspect here for the 1, 2 being that shallow, but 1, 2, 3, 4, well, that's clearly the 3, 4 of the internal impulse. But what does that imply? That implies that that's the 3. 5 still to come. 4 perhaps has gone in here. I'm going to end up on the wrong side of his trade. All right, so, which I'm not trying to do. I'm trying to get on the right side of his trade. Okay, so I'm going to take that off just for now. Let's go back to log scale. See what that does for us. Just seeing, I'm absolutely not trying to discount your work here or suggest that you're not on the right side of that trade at all. I'm just trying to look at, is there another way we could count this so that it's not so abnormal, right? 1, 2, monster fifth. It's okay, right? It happens. We'd get, I think, probably better channeling here. Probably have to clone it and double. It's such a, I mean, fuck. Can't get much. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, shit. No, I can't. No. Yeah, that'll work. A little overthrow there. Okay, 1, 2. Now let's measure that just out of curiosity, right? Let's see. It just takes seconds to do it. If that's a 2, right? That's not going to help me in log scale. Or here, right? It's so big, it doesn't, not much I can do with it. Get it back down here. Well, the premise would be, per his count, let's go to a 4-hour here. A, B going in, we're coming down for the C. So I do end up on the right side of your count. Okay, good. All right, yay. A little worried I was going to invalidate your count. Let's see, let's go to, oh, we don't need an X on that, right? So that's just highlighting the 1 candidate for the 2 as a flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is, I think he's just putting that up there as the potential double. We can go with a 3 there. Sure looks like a 3 there into the B. I'm going to go to yellow here and let's take that down. And that'll be, we can go to, minuet. Oh no, I don't want minuet. What do I want? I want subminuet. Okay, right. So that'll be fine. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 coming down. Right. So Palantir, is he in it? I don't know if he's in it. Are you in it? No, I don't think he is in it. I think he's waiting to get in. So he's trying to take the 2. Okay, good. Right. So here, do we have, well, we don't know if the 1 is done. You're not going to get much help here, right? Because that's the earnings, right? That's why trading the day of, right within a day or 2 of earnings, high risk, right? So you don't know, right? What kind of outcome you're going to get here. This looks like an ABC. No doubt about that. Into that B. Let's take that up to. Okay, it looks like you got an ABC, and then we're waiting for the 1, 2, right? So maybe 1, 2, 3. Well, let's see. Let's see what that plays. Sometimes the line chart will make this easier. A, B, C, 1, 2. Right? He's looking for the 2. Right? Risk reward. You want to? Considering where it is, right? Risk reward, right? Which is hard because you look at that and go, oh my God, this thing's an animal, right? Just a monster ripping stock here. I can't short that. Can I? You think there's a lot of retail shorting that? Probably not, right? Just for that same reason, right? You look at it. Where's the better risk reward? I'm not saying you won't get stopped out here. But where's your better opportunity, buyer or seller? I mean, it's rhetorical question, right? Obviously. Well, let's get some targets on that. If, right, again, I'm not saying CN's work is not just exactly what the count's going to be, but we can look at some alternatives here. If I can get it on there. 50. Looks pretty sweet to me. Only he's not in it yet, right? So he's doing a little kick, right? So as it gets closer, right, all he's doing is reducing the risk and increasing the reward as it gets closer to his fill. So a trade you could take, I'd get it. Again, if you were looking for fresh meat, for a fresh trade to go in, let's get through the press briefing. You never fucking know what's coming out of that. But something like that, what do you got there? It's 5 to 1. Very reasonable risk, right? You could sell out of the money calls and buy at the money puts. As the market's gone up here, right? Do you think the calls which is more overvalued? Well, the puts picked up some premium today for sure with the earnings miss. Next earnings, right? You got a ways. We got a clear double top, and then we get pretty hard to miss the divergence. Squeeze, right? He's using a squeeze indicator, black being the squeeze. You just see the same thing down here, right? It's just redundant, right? So we don't actually need it. So here's the 3, 4, right? 3, 4, 5 of 3. A, B, C would likely take that, something like that. Okay, looks good. Shit, I may take this, right? I was chomping at the bit to take this the other day, right? I didn't do it, but it would have been a neutral. I was looking at an iron condor, right? So okay, now I'd be directional on that. Good one, CN. Thanks for posting that. Okay, how are we doing on time? Whoa, pretty good here. Oh, hey guys. Wait, who is this? Hang on a second. I'm looking at this chat. Who is this? This is. I'll bring it over here. Some guy. I don't look less than monthly. Oh wow. Some guy. I like this. I don't look less than monthly. Right. So he's trading off of monthly charts. That's a bit much for me, but I know many very successful traders that only trade off of daily, weekly, monthly. Weekly, I could see that. I don't use leverage. I don't use stops, but it is boring as fuck. Well, yeah, okay, right. That is, that's a different type of approach to the market, right? You're certainly not in for the dopamine. And don't get me wrong, right? I disparage that, right? But only if you're doing it in spite of, clear technicals or a lack of clarity in the technicals, and you're doing it because you're jonesing for dopamine, right? We all like it. I'm not saying we don't like it. Everybody likes blow, right? But it's not very good for you. But same thing with dopamine, right? I mean, you can get too much, right? And if you're, if you're doing it just because you're bored, oh man, that's truly, you got to catch yourself. But that's a very solid approach to the market. But indeed, like it's, it probably has the best P&L over the last 5 years of anyone. But boring as fuck is a good description for it. But profitable as fuck, I would imagine. Right? You want to talk about easy TA? It's hard to miss when you're looking at a monthly chart, the trend or the lack of trend. Okay, thanks for that comment. That made me laugh. Mic check. Okay, good. Okay, all right. So it looks like we're okay. All right, where am I? I'm on Mojaka. Oh, he's going to the S&P. S&P is, can we call it mixed signals? I got my own views on it. I don't think the worst is over yet, but I'd love to be wrong. Okay, so your hub for global bond data. What the fuck? I don't know what that is. Got it. Okay, so let me see if I can copy this. Save. Okay, we're looking at the 30-minute futures. All right, so he's going with the AB, right? So this is the corrective count. It's tricky, right? Because it's open to interpretation down here, which is not really what you want. Is right? So is it? Let's go to the line chart, right? Just for here's the low. That looks like a 5. That looks like a 5. That looks like a 5. Kind of leaves you confused. But we have abnormal, market influences, right? We don't. This is pretty. These are shocks to the market based on what we normally see. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? This kind of makes it very tricky to get a read on this, but this is not a bad thought. So what? Oh, let's see. I think that one of these gets a golden, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's the higher pivot. If I get right on there. Perhaps a front run by a tick or two. You could see this has all been filled in, right? This fair value gap here, fully mitigated. Okay, right. So we have the imbalance up to what would have been an order block. Now that would be a breaker block, right? But that was broken here. My guess would be that that's technical too. Well, it's not always going to hit right perfectly on it. Certainly in the pocket. Did it get paid? Yeah, it got paid. Did the first one get paid? Yeah, it got paid. Do they usually get paid? Yeah, they usually get paid. Okay, it's a little funky. It's the ideally you'd have a contracting diagonal to end something rather than expanding, which tends to be more something you'd find, at the start of something rather than the end of something. But there's some new rules around this. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, C, A, B, C, A, B, right? He's looking for this down here. Well, if it came down here, that's certainly a reasonable spot. Did we get a close below here? It looks like we did. Yeah, we did, although it was short-lived, right? But that breaks the breaker. All right, so I would, you could consider, right, still, right, one puncture. It's okay. Is it as strong as it was when first tested? No. Right? When anyone tells you the more times you test it, the stronger it gets, is full of shit. Because the orders that are sitting there is potential, right? The rationale behind a breaker block, the orders are getting filled each time, right? So it's less likely to hold every time it hits, right? That's one of the most moronic things I've ever heard in TA, right? The more times it hit. No. It's S&P is really tricky right now, right? I don't know that that's where I'd be putting majority of my capital, even though I day trade it every day, right? But for position trades, what have I got? I've got a SPY hedge on, right? But I'm inherent majority long. If you looked at the delta of my entire portfolio here, I'm long with a hedge on. which is why I'm looking over here. I'm up slightly today. A, B, C. I don't see another way to finish it. There's an alternate that is here. I'm just going to introduce in the mix, right? This is Mojak has done a nice job here, but this could be A, B, C. This could be W, X, Y up here. Let me get these up to his size. All right, W, X. Now you'd have to do this a little bit differently. So this would be A. This I would do this as the A. Yeah, here, let me just do it here. I'm gonna have to do it this way. Just as an alternate. Now, if we shoot higher today, right, then you got a candidate here for an A. This would have to be A, B, C, or the fuck. W, X, Y. Either way, it's a 3, right? That's what you're after here is, okay, retrace, expand, come back, right? So I get a, pretty typical flat, right? And then going out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it there? Well, I'm on a 30-minute. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, that would clearly be the 4, but then I don't get a great finish there. Makes me think that you got a candidate for this right here, barring a big, some bullish commentary that gets the market all fired up. The alternate here that one of my senseis gave me today is that we do this as a triple. So we get another A, B, C going higher, but still being corrective. So it'd be W, X, Y, X, Z. So we'd have another A, B, C down here. That was George. Posted that up today, I think, in the room. I think it was the S&P. It might have been Bitcoin, but they're going to move pretty closely. So this would be a good line in the sand right here, 57.45. If we break above that, well, let's be mindful of where we are from the all-time high. Here, well, let's mark it. That's good. This is the continuous contract. Right, so, all right, where are we? Dominant high, dominant low. Please tell me you don't think that's coincidence. If you've spent 5 minutes over the last 6 years on any videos I've ever done, well, I mean, this is all, pretty obvious. If it was going to stop, right? Now, the fact that it splits the golden zone, Bitcoin, same thing. That's what I focused on Friday, right? They both tagged the golden, right? From the low. From the low, right? Dominant high to dominant low, right? Golden. Why is this significant? Because if we break on the other side, it's blue sky. No big algo to fight you at this degree. I mean, you do the same thing. You take it to the daily, right? I say the same thing, right? There's no big algo up here to fight you, right? The big one, Big Al, if I can keep calling him Al. Big Al is broken, right? Now you can have lots of little Al's, right? But Big Al broken. Where's Big Al want it? 4,800. If I had to bet, that's going to get challenged. So I'm still suspect of this. Is it's done, right? That the low's in and whoop, we're going to new highs. Suspect doesn't mean that I'm convicted. As I said, my book is my assets are primarily bullish, right? But I got a big fat head should this thing roll over. So just meaning I'll lose money. I just won't lose as much. Something to think about. Well, if you look at it here, right, for this to be done, this is going to have to go 1, 2. We don't really have an impulse here, so something weird is happening here, right? If you're trying to think, 3, 4, 5, that's not happening. That is not what the price action is suggesting. It's not, right? As much as you want it, that's not what's there. This is still looks corrective. It's corrective until it's not, right? But what it's not going to be is an impulse. It's not, right? Because this is not an impulse, right? So what are the alternatives? Diag? Well, Mojaka's got a diag ending right here, We might break the golden, go 707. Where's the last unmitigated order flow, right? There's not a lot left. Most of this has been mitigated, right? The last bit. Fully. This, right, you had the, all right, you see the inverse fair value gap, right? So you had the gap here, right? And then they got filled here, so it's an inverse fair value gap, right? Those are often the better trades. Fair value gaps fail all the time, right? The inverse often is a better trade. And you got 2 shots at it there. I know, easy in hindsight, right? But that's something to look for. That's why that's why I use the inverse fair value gap, so you don't miss the inverse. Shit, what do we have on here? Do I have it on here? I think this is his stuff. Does he have it on? I don't think he does. So let's put, so if you're going to use fair value gap, make sure you got something that will show you the inverse as well. Right there. Now what it's doing, right, it's only showing you the ones that are active, right? These have already been killed. Mitigated, as we say. Mitigated, what's unmitigated, right? Well, this didn't get broken, right? Here's broken. So if we're coming back to it, fair value gap, inverse fair value gap. This one is, who does this one? Shit. Well, if you just type in inverse fair value gap, it'll be the first one that comes up. Hello, golden zone. Okay, we'll see that. Good work, Mojaka. It'd be interesting to see. Like I said, that's not an impulse, so what's it going to be remains to be seen. I think we'll get some clarity here before the end of the week. Crypto Janice is back with another one. Good job, man. I had to coax these guys to give me content today. Oh, shit. What happened, Crypto Janice? Let me try this. Let me try copy link. Do I have your link? SEU. That's the right link. Oh, fuck. Okay, let's see if I do it this way. Does that come up? Fuck. Crypto Janice. What did you give me before? You gave me CRV. I might still have your CRV here. So I do, right? So if I do your, let's see if I can make this work, if I can get your stuff. SUI USDT. SUI USDT on Binance. Let's see if I get your work. I do, yeah. All right, Crypto Janice, right? This is, I'm assuming this is your work here. Okay, right, so that looks like you, yep. Always easier to read this when it's your work, right? Because you know what you've done in the color codes. When I look at that, I got to think for a minute. Okay, so we're on the 2 hour. Is that what you wanted? Did you give me a 2 hour? Lower time frame. Oh, I got a lot here. I need more NVIDIA. Okay, I saw that CN. Okay, so let me, this is a 2 hour. Let me go out to a daily here and just get perspective here, right? So, okay, what are we doing here? Some of these that have already come and gone, I'm going to pull those just so we can see it. Not that that's not significant. That's not what I mean at all. I'm just trying to get a handle on what you're doing. Okay, so premise here. Okay, so this is unlabeled, right? So Crypto Janice, right? You never want to leave an impulse unlabeled or without, what are you thinking here? Are you thinking 1, 2, 3? Right? Do you see why that matters? Right? Because if you go here, well, is that 3? Right? Because I got just a lonely, unaccounted for impulse out here. Right? We got to factor him in. Okay, so. Whoa. Well, it doesn't look like you'd be putting a 4 here. No, we're not in log scale. Oh, shit. Oh, that fucks the log scale up. Do we need log scale? From 40? Yeah, we do. Damn it. Well, that's the problem with log scale. Oh, we're locked there. This fucks me up. That's going to be a bitch. How can I do that? I don't think I can do that. Hang on a second. I have it somewhere, but I can't find. I think it's one of the ones I closed. All right, let's think for a second here. Give me a minute. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I had a candidate. I'm gonna have to break this up a little bit. Oh fuck yeah, he's gonna have me locked. All right, hang on. This is not about your work. It's about me getting in there so I can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So I think what you want to do here is, if I put it in log scale, right, it's just too fucked. We can't connect the two, so we're gonna have to take it out. So I'm gonna start right here, which is, happens. Here's the impulse. Here's the correction, right? Now, a year from now, 3 years from now, you might be back here looking at that going, fuck, I guess I have to use, right? Because I got to use it, right? But right now, to go 1, 2, 3, no, it's not that. God, I wish I could get that off the board, because that's the day it hits the exchange. Let me just bear with me a second. Let me get, where's crypto? Oh, maybe I need USD here. There it is. All right, so there we go. All right, so I can't have that. That's what the day it hits the exchange, right, is always a pump. Okay, so does this clean it up a little bit? Okay, do we need log scale? Let's see if we can get in log scale here. Yeah, that's better. Okay, well, even out here, right, even if you're going to use this, right, that's what you're saying. So taking it back to what he's got, right, we can accommodate this. It's just that was fucking up the chart. I don't think there's much confusion about what happens here. Right? I think I've used this enough times in multiple videos, streams. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like you get a. It looks like it finishes here. A, B. Oof, a long way down. Okay, well, I got to. Does the market move in 5s and 3s? You tell me. Well, let me make that. Well, here, this would be the 5, but the algorithm doesn't care about that, right? It's just going to take dominant high, low to high. Oh, I can't get volume profile on it, but we don't have. You can. Any question about whether or not? Oh, that's probably a good order block right there, and you got another. Well, you're right. Let's use the bottom one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, can I get that? No, that's where it is. Oh, let's go to a 4 here. A, B. Okay, looks like you might have a combo there, so A, B, C. Let's see if we can try that on for size. Often, right, don't get locked into your first placement. You gotta kind of position pieces on the board and see if it fits. Okay, so what would your thought? Well, obviously we keep going here. So what's the thought? X. I think I have a triangle here. Y. Oops. A, B, C, D, E. All right, so I got a good triangle. Oh, fuck, come here. Oh, I just do it like that. W, X, A, B. A little skinny. Good enough for government work. This one's not all that difficult. I'm very fucking long. Not that should matter, but I got a pretty... I like this one so much, I told my wife to start buying this about 6 months ago on her regular crypto buy plan, right? So she's got a lot of this. She asks me about it all the time. What's going on with SUI, with SUI? all sorts of imbalances in here. Okay, we're on the 4 hour. Let's get all that. Oh shit, I can just do it. Just let a piece of software do it for us. Right? But it's good if you can. You want to be able to identify them yourself. That's there, but these, I think I have limit number that I've got on there. I think I have only 4. Okay, right. So we've got this little fair value gap being filled. Right, I've got inverse fair value gaps above. That'd be a nice spot for a 4. Right? Jesus, could that get any prettier? Even if you wanted to, this would be a decision block, right? That's a demand zone here. It's okay, right? I wouldn't put a lot of confidence in that holding, but you do see them hold. Right? It's a place where it could hold. Get that right. Let's use that right there, right? And then, right, why is this a candidate? Even considered a candidate because of the imbalance it came off of it, right? So it's displacement, right? So we know that's muscle. A, B, C, something like that. W, X, Y. It was ABC into this, right? You got a little false right now. So why is this a candidate here? I don't dislike this at all. Because what happened here? Liquidity sweep, right? That's liquidity grabbed. Right, so okay, and it's a 5, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 1, 2. Okay, let's get in there. Do we have a trade sitting here? Well, we've got displacement, right? Here's the inverse fair value gap that's coming down to it right now. Oh, let's see if I can get a golden on there. If I get it right on there. Well, let's see. How about a 10? Do I have an impulse? The 2 is a little skinny, but that's your 4. That's not bad. Meaning, what do we have here? Golden corner. 80%, right? Now remember, 80 is not 100. So don't whine if you think, oh, I didn't get that. 80%. Right? If that's not good enough for you, right, you're on the wrong live stream, right? Because anyone else who tells you they've got odds that are better than that is just after, guard your wallet. Okay, right, so I got a candidate here for this to come out of the hole here for the 1. 3, 4, 5. Risk reward, where's it better? That's kind of insulting to even say that, right? I don't want to insult you all. Where's the risk reward better? You're not going to sell it, are you? You going to sell it right into a golden zone? Into a golden corner pocket? Probably not. Now, that doesn't mean that this is going to hold. But as long as this pivot holds, I got 80% odds. Now, if it breaks, remember, if it breaks, it doesn't necessarily kill the trade as a candidate for a 2, right? It can be a 2 all the way down here, right? But then do you see what happens the deeper? The reason we love the golden is because the angle is better. Here, I get there too soon. I don't want that deep an angle. As much as I really want in that trade is here, because I get better potential to get to that 3rd. 1, 2, 3, right? It's much bigger runway. I mean, you can literally trade that right now. Stop 707. Oops, I got a little jumpy there. 707 right now. If it gets stopped, take the stop. Do not do this. Once again, that's what pussies. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's what the inexperienced do. Don't do that. Take the jab. You want a ticker 2, right? Ticker 2, right? Because we're not the only people using the 707, right? The ticker 2, right? Okay. Looks like you got a little. You got displacement coming out of the hole there, down on a 10-minute. You got displacement. Here's a big fair value gap right here. That's unfilled, meaning, well, here's a breaker block here. Right there. That's a demand zone. So you got a reason to be interested here. No, it's coming. Oh shit, it's coming down. Well, okay. Where's your ideal entry? If we come a little lower, right, we're good here. And Even this is good. But if you're taking it off the golden, but take the stop. Reevaluate. Maybe I want it lower. Maybe I want it down here. Maybe I like it down here. Maybe the way this finishes here, maybe what happens here is we're going to sweep this liquidity right here. Well, shit, we might do it while I'm on the chart. Right, we're on 10 minute, but we're going to sweep that liquidity. This is not time to panic. This is time to go, oh shit, I might get the perfect fill. That's not panic time. Right, that's what retail, oh shit, I can't buy it now. It's coming down. Where's the RSI? What do I got down here? RSI. I don't have any divergence. But for whatever reason, on a 10 minute, right, let's go to 15. It's about as low as I usually go. Okay. So if you're not in it right now, well, you just kind of watch for, you know, little signs of light. But we probably can see this happen here. So maybe even on a 5 minute. I'd be watching that one. I mean, the other thing to do is just, here, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Although I don't, where do I trade this? I've got this on a couple of exchanges. I just put an alert here. Okay, if it breaks that, okay, I'm going to reevaluate here. I mean, we're all the way down to a 5 minute. If it breaks that, I reevaluate. What's your risk here? 324 to 320. Too much for you? Really? 320 to 324, that's too much? Okay, right, to each his own, right? But, you know, I mean, you can lever that. Or if you want to be a little bit more conservative, where's the change of character? Or at least a change of, well, this is all one time framing, right? Well, here, we broke a candle here, right? So here's this is where you'd get a change in state of delivery right here, right? So, okay, this is all coming down 110, right? We don't break any highs here. We're still going down. Oh, you might get this, right? If you had that, right? If we pop out of here, now reaction, we'll see. I'd be watching that. If I take this out, this is a tiny little baby. Look at the stop is 4 cents, right? So this is a very small little swing. But it's a candidate, right? All little impulses, right? So all ones start with a little micro. I wouldn't ignore it. Okay. Oh shit, I think I got everybody. How are we doing on time? 1:11. Okay, so that's good. So hang on. Oh, Marcus not happy about something. Jesus, what time is it? Did we get the news? Yeah, I guess we did. So market is down. Hang on. Well, it's not dramatic. This is why being hedged is good. I'm looking at my accounts, still positive. Okay, right. So not that matters. Okay, right. So what's next on my list here? I got. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to get distracted here, but somehow Wednesday was not the greatest day to pick for live streams because once a month I got the Fed day. But that's we're kind of stuck with it now. What am I doing? I'm going to Twitter X. Should I still Twitter to me? Okay. I got 3 candidates here. QNT. This is from our X followers, which we're always glad to look at what they're interested in. USD. Do I have a crypto? Oh, let's just go to Coinbase here. That'll work. I'm going to go to a daily. I haven't looked at this one in a while. Quant. Can't always get what you quant. Okay, so let's see what we're doing here. Well, if I brought this up, right? Were we in log scale? Yeah, we are. What? Well, let's just be methodical about it. Okay, so there's our low. Whoops, get off of there. That thing's annoying. This looks like you got a bit of a Wyckoff accumulation down here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ugh. I would just kind of do it this way. I would look at all of this as potentially just demand. Just as the demand zone here. Are we coming down, you know, from 428 to, what did we get here? 38. Harsh. But going back to all-time highs? Okay, well, how are we going to do that? I don't think the Elliott is really adding value here. I don't think you want to go 1-2. We're just coming back into, even if you just go to the lower zones here. Eventually there'll be an Elliott count here that will play, but right now I wouldn't lean on that too hard. I was just, okay, whatever. I got a candidate here for a starting point. Okay, can we start right here? Is this anything? I don't love the idea of going 1-2. It almost doesn't matter at this point. It's so deep that if we're back here, you know, if this goes 1, 2, 3, 4, we're up here back at 400 again. All right, maybe I'll come back here and reconsider this, and maybe the starting point is here, because this is just, you know, this is just chop. What's the date here? November. Okay, then we get and new administration, crypto friendly, right? So pump dump, right? Okay, well, so are we starting here? I'd probably wick that off as well. Oh God, that thing is annoying. Come here. You got to push the shift key down to get that to be a straight line, but if you makes that square come up. Okay. Let's get into the, well, let's go to an hourly. Do I have an impulse off of this low? Candidate, clearly the 4. All right, let's see if we can string that together. Okay, I can live with that. Oh, that's fucking, it doesn't matter, right? A, B, C, W, X, Y, probably. We don't overlap the 1, so I've got a nice candidate for an impulse, right? So diag into the 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So pretty good kick in the 5th, right? Very reasonable. It's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, I'd live with that. A, B, right? So it's a bit loose on the Elliott, but why can I be that loose? Because we're just waiting for this. Wait down here. I've got Coinbase here, so I can draw a volume profile. All right. Any questions that look unusual? All right, here's the POC. Right. No, you don't even have to draw it. You know that's going to be a high volume node. Want to buy it or sell it? Seems obvious. Where's the better risk reward? Well, you're going to have to take that now, right? You have to use the B high here because you missed, or you're late to that party. This is all wick up here. You might do this just to kind of, this always helps a little bit. Oh, right, wicks, right? Bodies tell the story. A, B, C. Right, a lot of wick action up here. Is that too much risk? 89 to 92. It's not terrible, right? So do the math, right? You know, it's not swing for the fence time. But that's 3 to 1. It's not bad. Hang on one sec. Okay, right. I'd keep an eye on that one. I kind of like that for the short. I rarely aggressively short crypto. Rarely. Usually I'm long-term swing trading, but on an hourly for, you know, want to hit a single there with low risk, why would you not take that trade? I mean, what would be the alternate? Wait for the buy, right? Because we got an impulse up. If you don't want to trade the short side because, well, shit, oh, crypto looks good, we're going to get a, okay, wait. I could turn that around, right? This would be a pretty reasonable spot to be looking for an entry. Where do they usually go? Right, it's not rocket science. Can I get the value area? 50 in the golden zone? You're going to have to wait for it, right? So what's the alternative, right? Just add an alert here. I'm going to do the same thing, right? I'll trade this one. Okay, I got Quant. And then I got 2 more. We'll call it a day. NPC, no idea what it is, but that's Cosmos telling me it's a meme coin. Who doesn't love a good meme coin? Me. Okay. Let's go over to, where am I going to get it? NPC, non-playable coin. What the fuck? Not a fan of meme coins, but they're part of the game. Non-playable. All right. Doesn't look very playable right now. Oh, well, I suppose you can't. God, it almost makes it, but not quite. Thought we could get a triangle in there, but you can't. But this is. Oh, it's just to keep it simple. I'd probably do this. Although it's such an extreme wick here. It's a judgment call here. You know, obviously that's going to look quite different. Which would be this. We're going to put the 2 in here. It's a judgment call. It's a meme coin, right? So it has no use case. It's just for trading, right? It's not going to be here 5 years from now. This will not be here, right? This is just for gambling. All right, not that there isn't money to be made gambling. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that this is, one, it's sloppy price action. That would keep me from it, right? Now let's see how we look here from the swing low to swing high. You broke out, right? It's not a good sign because that's closed below on, is it? That's not wicks, is it? Yeah, that's 2 closes below, so Al is out at that degree. But he could be here on the smaller degree. There he is. Get it right on that. This little wick got through by a tick. Here's the target. I think the concern for me here is that this looks like AB. 1, 2, 3. Looks like you got a little impulse there that finishes that. So let's go to a 4-hour. 1, 2. Yeah, you do. Oh, fuck me. Come here. All right, we begin and we end in 5s. A, B, C. It's a little chunky monkey right there. How about, oh, it doesn't look like it's going to make a 50 from the absolute high. Maybe a little shy of it. We know that's going to be a high volume node. Well, you're kind of late. You're late to the short. Let's go 1. Well, if you had to label it, it'd probably be AB2, working on 3, 4, 5. Oops. Where'd my 3 go? Oh, fuck. Oh, I got all whacked up there. Jesus, where did my 1 go? There we go. It looks like that 3 is not done yet. Let's let it break. And I'd be mindful of this. Right. Yeah. Candidate here. Well, let's take it all the way down. There's your order block, right? So why do I know that's the order block? Because the displacement that came out of it. right? So here's your downswing, right? This bullish order flow. Why would you keep that as consideration? Because of the displacement. All right, so we know that's muscle that pushed it up there, right? Because of these are big unmitigated fair value gaps. Oh, all right, we got that to pull across, right? So gives this order block here more significance. So we can lean into that too. 3, 4, 1, A, B. Ugh, Jesus, that's fucking hideous, isn't it? A, B. Barely get her done there. That's a little suspect. You don't have a 3 here, so I'm reluctant to do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I get a good 1, but I think that's A, B. You'd have to go A, B, C. So I'd keep the 2 here. Looks like that might be technical. Jesus. It is. Second. I still think that's got, looks like, right? It looks like this is 3, 4. We got more to come down here, although we could be done here. It would be skinny though, right? If this is the 1, that's the 2. Or, you know, if it's going to be a little bumpy, maybe this is second most common. Most. It's far enough, right? This could be 3, 4, 5, and that's 1, 2, right? So is there a long there? I suppose, right? If you want to trade into the 4, I would wait for the 3 to complete, look for the kickback in the 4, and then I'd take the short into the 5. It's me. That's what I would do. Because you need a better correction here. A, B, C. You're looking for 1 here. Unless it's going to turn into a combo of some sort, which I suppose is possible. W, X, Y. We're going to go higher. That's a lot to forecast. What I have here now, well, this is much more likely impulsive than corrective, and I got a 3. So why are you longing that? Oh, well, I thought it was going to turn into a diag. Does that look like a diag? No, not really. Looks like A, B, C. Okay, let me keep going. Last one, link. Oh shit, I've got it. I closed everything when I thought it was crashing there. Well, let's go to the full history here. Oh, it looks like market's not cratering. RTY not doing too well. What would Bitcoin do? Nothing, honey. Still wrestling with this golden. Here we are on the daily. We can't seem to get a close above to kill it. Back to link. Okay. Let's go to the daily. All right, we'll finish here. Okay. All right. So I've got full. This is the aggregator, right? So you get the full history. Well, this is all pre-election. Same for almost all the alts, right? So let's focus on this side of it. This is where we are. Okay, unless you're an Elliott Wave denier, which there are those. Hard to miss the 5 there. Oh, let's do it this way. Hard to miss the impulse. Looks like a WXY. Because we finished with 3, so working backwards. More, right? Again, this is not bad news, right? That's good news, right? Consolidation, right? Contraction, expansion. Get rid of that. You know what's going to be there. You know that. You don't even have to wonder whether that's a squeeze. Of course it's a squeeze. All right, so this had a great potential to be a 1-2. I suppose we could still consider this minor support, very minor. I mean, you might even have to take it down here. It had a good threatening here to really go, right? 1, 2, 1. Ugh. Can you lean into the 1, 2, though? That's a bit of a stretch. That's a daily. Let's go to the 4. I know I've got, I don't know, not a lot of this, but enough to where I'd rather not see this crater. Not that that should matter. Well, it's a tricky here because you find yourself, you end up with an impulse. Oh fuck, come here. You got it. After this, right? I would. This is. There's just time. Well, fuck. There's probably a triangle. I don't know whether it matters. Let's stay focused here. I'll get sidetracked. God damn it! How are we gonna do that? I don't think you have a count here. Well, what I would do in that case, right, and this is not, it happens, right? So, interesting. Oops, looks like I'm off by a tick. Interesting, that's where it goes. That's a round trip. I'm not sure what to do with that. I'll tell you what I would do. Exactly what I would advise you guys to do. I'd go to some of my Elliott Wave masters and say, well, how are you dealing with that? You don't have to have an answer for every swing in the market. Because there are going to be times where it's just not there, right? It's just, what is that? It's uncountable. It doesn't fit, right? If this is ABC, 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 WXY, X, doesn't fit. So I would just call it consolidation. Pause before the cause. But we made a full loop here, and it looks like this is... Link can't seem to get out of its own way. Well, this actually is a good example. I don't care how much you love the chart or the coin or the asset for its long-term potential. If there's just nothing to trade, there's nothing to trade. There's nothing here that would give you any kind of an edge here. Right? This has gone as low as it can go. Okay, you might, right, if you're desperate to find, again, careful about the dopamine Jones. Okay, right, oh, okay, can I call that a 5? Okay, right, now how does that fit in? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. It looks like you can work, you got an impulse there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got an impulse. We don't overlap the 1. Jesus, look at that, talking about some resistance, right? Things that do not happen randomly, right? They don't overlap it, so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I get an impulse. All right. So if you're a link lover, well, can I do anything here? Well, I probably would take the second one, right? Because again, where do they usually go? Okay. Well, this looks pretty juicy down here. Not there, right? Well, what if I miss it? Okay. What if you do? What if you do? Oh, it's going to be a really link is so strong. It's going to be a really shallow 2. I'm sure of it. We're going to do a 38 in the 2. Really? Why? Why are you so sure of that? Got to ask yourself why. Why wouldn't it do what it normally does? Some unusual circumstance in link that we need to factor in? No. Not that I know of. This little 5 is kind of surprising, but okay, we did a full loop. We stayed above the pivot, right? So 1, 2, fuck, I suppose it's possible. Do I want to trade that? Not there. I'd consider it down here. Why, right? Well, risk reward, simple as that, right? That's the only reason I would do that. If I'm going to take it here, well, I got a first target here. Oh, that thing's annoying when it's in log scale. Okay, 6 to 1. Now, if this starts to kick for whatever reason, Bitcoin kicks, and who knows what the catalyst is, but if there's a catalyst in the alt space and this starts to go again, right, as I talked about before, right, Let's see if I can get that right. The impulse to come here is not optional. This has to happen. Must. Well, you know, in the Elliott Wave approach to the market, right? This is inevitable, right? If this is a 1-2, right? That's not. There's no question about this, right? So you say, oh fuck, oh shit, I missed it at the 38. Damn it, I knew that thing was going to go. Really, you're not going to get another 1-2? Yes, you are. Or it's not, or your analysis calling this a 1 is not correct, right? And that happens all the time, right? I'm not saying that, you know, you got to be right all the time. You're going to be wrong most of the time. But if you're trading this as a 1-2, well, first thing, you know, it's not good enough to not take norms where they usually go. And if you were like, shit, I don't know, I wasn't sure. Well, this is inevitable, right? If this is going to play as a 3, there's going to be a 1-2. Now you can say, well, what if it's another shallow? What if? You can what if yourself, right? You know, you never take the market, never take a trade in the market. What do you need to steel yourself to do, right? Take stops. That's a muscle you got to build. It's really an emotional muscle. You've got to be able to take a stop and not have it wreck your day. Often multiple times a day, right? Depending on the time frame you're trading. It's got to be something you're comfortable. Okay, stop this job. Thanks, next trade. That doesn't happen right off the bat, right? Again, that's why most people new to the market, right? They fuck themselves because they're not willing to take a stop, right? So oh shit, I don't want to get stopped out. This link, right? It could really go. Oh shit, I've read everything. I saw this somewhere on X that this had massive upside. Digging deeper, and you could have just taken the jab, but you were too much a pussy. You couldn't do it. Oh no, my ego I can't be wrong. Yes, you can. If you want to survive, you better get used to it. Okay, there we go.